Is rap superstar Lil Durk about to face the ultimate legal battle? His federal case, a high-stakes murder for hire conspiracy charge, is heating up, and his lawyer is now speaking out, challenging the very evidence the government seems to be relying on. This isn't a standard state case. We're talking federal, described by the lawyer as the NBA level. The case began with an indictment that initially didn't name Durk Banks directly, listing him instead as an unindicted person. However, things escalated 3 weeks later with what's called the first superseding indictment. This new version was largely identical to the first, but it made one crucial change. The unnamed person was now explicitly identified as Lil Durk Banks, and this is where the controversy truly begins. According to Lil Durk's lawyer, there was only one new factual allegation added in that superseding indictment, just one, and that single new fact. It alleged that Lil Durk released a video that celebrated and monetized this killing the government claims he was involved with. The defense argues this lyric and video evidence is the government's key piece, their smoking gun, distinguishing this indictment from the first, but the lawyer insists this is provably false, claiming the song and lyrics existed long before. The alleged incident, a detail reportedly heard from people across the music industry, from studio staff to executives. The defense questions how this alleged false information ended up in the grand jury indictment in the first place. Before the superseding indictment, Lil Durk was arrested on a criminal complaint. At the time, the government reportedly cited a belief that he was trying to flee the country, suggesting he was booking multiple flights to different places. The defense lawyer vigorously challenges this flight risk claim. According to the lawyer, the initial criminal complaint presented incomplete flight itineraries to the judge. When the defense presented the complete itineraries, they reportedly showed all the flights were ultimately bound for Dubai. The lawyer pointed to Durk's history of traveling to Dubai, noting it's a common destination in the music industry. They also argued that given Lil Durk's international fame, the reported seating arrangements like middle seats on the incomplete itineraries were unlikely, suggesting the intention was always private, direct travel, not evasive maneuvers. Crucially, the defense states that the probation officer who met with Durk and reviewed the evidence, and ultimately the magistrate judge, both found that he was not a flight risk after seeing the full picture. The stakes in this federal case couldn't be higher. Lil Durk is charged with conspiracy to commit murder, a charge that carries a potential life sentence. Because of the severe nature and the defense's strong stance on his innocence regarding conspiracy, the lawyer states this is an all-or-nothing case. There are reportedly no conversations being entertained about plea deals. The defense is preparing to fight this case all the way to a jury trial. The current calendar shows an October trial date in 2024. However, the lawyer acknowledges that this date is far from certain. Federal conspiracy cases, especially those with multiple defendants and legal teams involved, are notoriously complex. Coordinating discovery, motions, and the schedules of half a dozen lawyers can lead to delays. Unlike a single defendant case, where dates tend to stick more firmly, a multi-party case means navigating numerous potential scheduling conflicts and legal arguments that could push the trial back. Despite the uncertainty, the defense team is reportedly focused and preparing with the October date in mind. Beyond the core charges and legal strategy, other elements swirl around the case. There's internet chatter speculating about a potential cooperator in the case, identified by some online as F-Jam. Lil Durk's lawyer stated they couldn't comment on anything related to potential cooperators, which is standard in these types of proceedings. The lawyer also reportedly drew a distinction in how federal authorities view different artists, suggesting the feds see Lil Durk as more of a Larry Hoover-type figure compared to someone like Youngboy, who they allegedly viewed more as just a kid who grew up with money. Additionally, the lawyer referenced a sealed gag order surrounding the King Von case, stating they are prevented from discussing it publicly, a point interpreted by some as hinting at potential connections that are being kept under wraps for the trial. Ultimately, Lil Durk's defense lawyer is directly challenging the government's case, particularly targeting the reliance on song lyrics as key evidence and disputing the initial claims of attempted flight. With a potential life sentence on the line, this federal trial represents a monumental battle for Little Durk's freedom and the future of his career, a battle that will play out in the complex federal system, where the truth will be sought from behind the mic and inside the courtroom.